Hey, bourbon fans. So we've talked about low-proof bourbons. We've talked about mid-range proof bourbons. It's time to talk about my favorite, high-proof bourbons, which, if you've been following along, according to my scale, that's anything over 115 proof. So, let's get to it. When I first started drinking bourbon, I had no idea what proof meant, what cask strength meant. And when I first tried high-proof bourbon, well, my first high proof was 110, and it really caught me off guard. I didn't know what that meant at all. So I didn't automatically jump into high proof and think, oh, this is amazing, I want more of this. It took a little bit, okay? So if you're watching this and you're thinking, oh, I'm not into high proof, I can't take it, or I don't like it, it's too hot for me, you'll get there. You gotta use the training wheels before you get off by yourself. So, use some water, cut it down a bit, use ice if you want, but don't be afraid of high proof bourbons, all right? So we got that out of the way, let's get to it. In no particular order, okay, these are my top 3 high-proof bourbons. First one, Booker's. All the Bookers. All Bookers are great. Some are greater than others. I haven't had a Booker's yet that I totally hated as a bourbon. I have some Bookers that are the last on my Booker's list, but even the worst Booker's is still ahead of a lot of other great bourbons. All the Bookers I've had, and I don't think there's any in production or have been, that are below 120 proof. I've had as high as 128 proof, and it's been delicious. So my top 2 Booker's batches, for reference for you, Granny's batch, right here, 2020-01. That's also the first Booker's I had, one of the first few high-proof bourbons I had. It's very leathery, caramel, butterscotch flavor, a little bit of spice. And when you hear leather, you might think, ooh. But man, that combo of caramel and leather is just divine. It is fantastic. And with high proof, the great part is, most of the time, it's going to be a rich, complex body to the bourbon. So that way, you have a more rich mouthfeel experience. Second batch of Booker's is Bardstown, 2021-03. Man, that was a fantastic batch. Very rich, spicy, a lot of cinnamon, a little bit of caramel, but just nice, rich, robust batch. Spice, heavy spice on that one. Okay, so Booker's. Next on the list is Wild Turkey Rare Breed. Wild Turkey 101 is a decent bottle. I don't care for it. It's got a slight aftertaste to me that I don't 100% care for. But Rare Breed is delicious. 116.8 proof, and it's caramel and spice. Rich profile to it. Around me, it's still fairly easy to come by. I would say it's a little uncommon these days. It's around 50 bucks. Booker's, man, that's gotten real tough to find. You got to know when the batch is dropping and be calling your store or be checking in regularly to see if they get it, because they're going to get it quick and then it's going to be gone quick. At least around me, that's the case. So I've been able to get it for around 85 bucks before tax. A lot of places it's 100 before tax. So Rare Breed is fantastic. It's a little more easy to find. Definitely way easier to find than Booker's. Number 3, and I know this is going to be a little curveball. It's not a bourbon, but it was my favorite whiskey from 2021. So it's worth including in this list. It's a corn whiskey, Balcones True Blue Cask Strength. Now, the one that I had that I fell in love with was a store pick from Total Wine in Texas. I've had another store pick from here in Missouri, which was also very good. Not quite as mind-blowing as the one from Texas, but still fantastic. With Balcones, with the True Blue Cask Strength, you get a lot of caramel corn flavor. You get a caramel. If you like caramel in your tasting profile, you're gonna love that. Not much on the fruity. It's kind of sweet, but it's mostly just caramel notes. I mean, just amazing. So rich. When you look at that sucker in the glass, it is so dark, amber color, fantastic, beautiful. Now, those are the ones that I recommend. Some that I've tried and I've not been a fan of, just for reference. Old Ezra 7-year, which comes in at 117 proof. By the way, Balcones was 128 proof, 26, something like that. It was up there, it's high. Old Ezra 7-year is 117 proof. It finally came to Missouri within the last 6 months even, I think. And it retails for about 45, 50 bucks. It's very thin. For 117 proof, it is a thin bourbon. It's got a little bit of caramel flavor to it, but not worth it for me. I've had Wilderness Trail store pick. That was actually really good. I did enjoy it. It was a close runner-up to the top 3. I would get that again for sure. If you found a store pick and it was higher proof like that, go for it. I don't like LARCENY bourbon, a small batch, so I haven't committed to barrel proof yet. Maybe I will someday. Who knows? Elijah Craig, I'd love to get another bottle. It's just hard to come by around here. I tried one taste from a friend of mine. That one was a hot batch. It was over 130 proof, 136 I believe, and it just was hot. It was hard to tease much out of it, so I'd have to reevaluate. I haven't given up on Elijah Craig yet. Smoke Wagon Uncut Unfiltered, I've had one sample so far, and it was good. I would definitely get it again. In fact, I have a bottle. There we go. Bottle waiting for me to open. Looking forward to it. It just didn't wow me enough to make the top list. Knob Creek barrel proof. I had one store pick, which was 120 proof, and I liked the 9-year small batch better than that store pick. Now, I've finished that bottle. I've got a new one from a different pick. I'm excited to give it another try because I love Knob Creek, so it's got to be better, I'm sure. Those are my top 3. Booker's, any batch, but especially Bardstown and Granny's batch. Wild Turkey Rare Breed, and Balcones, True Blue Cask Strength. If you find them, grab them, try them. Even if you're scared, it'll be okay. Trust me. Like and subscribe. Definitely subscribe. That's super important. And until next time, cheers.